Meet Scarlet Rue, an ordinary university student in the vibrant city of Portland, Oregon. She's got a wide circle of friends and a loving boyfriend that means the world to her. And then one day, all she loves is taken from her by some punk with a gun. Not just any ordinary punk, but Gary Dunes, a police officer that swore an oath to protect and serve. Instead, he used his badge as a shield to feed his drug addiction, and then passed the blame and responsibility to someone else. For standing up to this corrupt officer, Scarlet is rewarded with her boyfriend shot and killed before her and a bullet to the head that puts her in a coma. When Scarlet wakes up, she decides that enough is enough. Brian Michael Bendis' and Alex Maleev's series Scarlet directly attacks a problem within society that few admit exists and many ignore. Corruption exists in all levels of society, and those that are aware take advantage of it at every turn. It was important to them to convey this anti-corruption message in a realistic way, down to the settings and characters. This isn't a fictional world where strange things happen. This is our world, our Portland, and our problems. Bendis said in an interview that Scarlet spawned from an incident he witnessed randomly on the streets of Portland. As I was doing research downtown, I saw a few cops come up to a young red-headed girl and her friends in Pioneer Square in Portland. It got hostile and rough. The cops grabbed and arrested her while she screamed, "I didn't do anything!" My friends and I, along with hundreds of others, saw it all and were shocked. Keep in mind, none of us know whether she did anything wrong or not. She could have been completely guilty for all we know. It was just this visceral experience that was shocking to see, and it stayed with me. That red-headed girl would go on to inspire the creation of the main character Scarlet and her mission. When we meet Scarlet, she has already begun her journey to becoming the leader of a revolution. She's angry at the world and even kills cops, though the cops she murders are corrupt officers that use their power and authority to get what they want. As she puts it, "I killed men dressed as police officers. A police officer has sworn an oath to protect and serve us. Once that oath is broken, and these men broke that oath, they are no longer police officers. They just dress up as them." But as we get to know Scarlet through her dialogue with us, the reader, we begin to see who she truly is. We see a montage of her first, from her first love to even her first drink. This humanizes her, and via the breaking of the fourth wall narration, which is used almost as a stress reliever for her, we begin to empathize with Scarlet. As the series progresses, it's hard not to root for Scarlet's cause, even if sometimes their violence causes more problems. We see time and time again that a peaceful solution is not an option, that those in power wish to remain that way at all costs. The world is built on a lie that says if you try hard enough you can achieve anything. As Scarlet and her crew find out, the world is not like that at all. Scarlet states, "Everything is broken. Everything. Good people are victims, bad people are heroes, dumb is a virtue, food is poison, corruption is a national pastime, rape is rape, the poor are left to rot, religion is business, no one is safe, and everyone thinks it's funny." And that leads to an interesting question: are you just as broken as the rest of the world? Scarlet's crew is full of broken people that have woken up to the world's problems. They each take action in their own way, and while all of them are understandable, some hinder Scarlet's point and only perpetuate a cycle of violence that never ends. Isis is an African-American teenager who lost her father at a young age. One day, while walking her to school, police officers questioned her father simply because his skin color made him a suspect. When he denied their accusations, they beat him, and when he resisted, they killed him. These so-called protectors destroyed 2 innocent lives, all because they have the authority and privilege necessary to be judge, jury, and executioner. Lowe is a soldier that witnessed the United States military bomb a school bus full of children because they might have been affiliated with terrorists. No concrete proof existed, and the strike went ahead anyway. And then the military had the gall to sweep it under the rug and simply claim they were following orders. A claim that has been used to justify far too many atrocities throughout human history. Buddy's girlfriend, Amy, was harassed online because she was dating someone who was non-binary, but was born a woman. The bigotry eventually destroyed Amy, and she committed suicide. Buddy couldn't bring the bullies to justice because of the anonymity that the internet provides. Once the perpetrators were found out to be his school's football team, Buddy's dad, who happens to be the team's coach, suggests ignoring it because the team brings in great revenue for the school. Angela Going was a police cadet that was sexually assaulted and almost raped by her superior officer. When she attempted to press charges, it was suggested that she not go through with it and instead accept the bribe of an immediate promotion to detective. The police department couldn't handle the scandal and bad press this would bring down upon them, and so did nothing about it. A point this comic makes that is all the more relevant in today's post-Me Too world. In each of their stories, they are confronted with corruption, and then see the problems that come with a flawed system. There must always be someone in power, but said power provides the privilege and authority to do whatever you want. It's the classic problem of who watches the watchers. There must always be someone at the top, and they will inevitably get whatever they want simply because they can. When asked about the political message that runs throughout Scarlet, Bendis said this: "I have yet to meet anyone who is for corruption and the abuse of innocent people. Most people reading this book feel abused by those in power and marginalized by people in power. Wherever you are on the political spectrum, this is a problem we are dealing with and it hasn't gotten away. What's more, it seems to be getting worse." Scarlet is ultimately about breaking away from apathy and doing something about the wrongs witnessed every day. Scarlet's mission starts as something small against Gary Dunes, but expands rallying the people of Portland into riots and eventually armed insurrection. By the end of the current run, we see that Scarlet's protests have spread like a wildfire across the United States. More and more cities got the kick in their complacency that they desperately needed and joined the rebellion. While writing the series, several events in the real world began to reflect what was going on in the fiction of Scarlet. The Occupy Wall Street movement, repeated examples of the over-militarization of the police across the world, such as the incident in Ferguson, Missouri, protests against the immoral killing of innocent people of color by police officers, and many more. Bendis became uncomfortable, but at the same time he wanted to continue writing what he saw as a warning that things need to change. The world around us actually went off the rails. We thought when we came up with this book that we were being prescient. We thought we were being futurist. We thought we were imagining what the world would be like 10 years from now. We did not expect to wake up one morning and for Egypt to almost explode in riot, and Wisconsin to crack in half, and everything to be occupied all within weeks of each other. Everything got very real. So real that writing this book got very uncomfortable. People started pulling guns on each other, reporters getting violently assaulted. It made us not want to do this book even though we really wanted to do this book. Over the course of the series, we see Scarlet in different lights. To us, the reader, she remains the empathetic, ordinary woman pushed to extremes. But to everyone else, she is something more. To her followers, she is more of an ideal, a superhero if you will, rather than something concrete and real. She is untouchable in their eyes. They look to her for guidance, compassion, and to always know how to take the next step. This is symbolized by Scarlet's wig. You see, when she was shot in the head, they shaved her hair, and it never grew back. Instead, she wears a wig, at first as a way to remember the innocent young woman that she once was. But now, it is a symbol of defiance. When Scarlet is truly herself, when she suffers the most, that is when she is not wearing the wig, when all her wounds are out in the open. The media portrays Scarlet as a terrorist, a cop killer, an insane woman out for revenge. Knowledge is power, and the corrupt officials use the media to peddle their lies and twist everything she has done against her. That is not to say that everything Scarlet's followers have done is good or perfect. While you can agree with their mission statement, sometimes their methods go too far, such as when Buddy, in a fit of rage, executes the mayor of Portland on a public broadcast. This is the spark that leads to the event either known as the Fall of Portland or the Rise of Portland, depending on which side you were on. The mayor was a sleazy scumbag politician that refused responsibility, but because Buddy killed him, that made him a martyr for the other side. Likewise, Kit is a woman suffering from PTSD and shoots a soldier that looked remarkably like her abuser without even thinking about it. This triggers a violent response and Kit almost revels in the violence, as though she was waiting for something to let all that pent-up anger out. Alex Maleev's art is perfect for this series. He's perhaps most well known for collaborating with Bendis on their critically acclaimed Daredevil run, and while that series is definitely worth its own video for its sheer amazing quality, this is perhaps Maleev's best work. His photorealistic style helps convey that everyone involved in this story are ordinary people. Everyone is modeled after someone in real life. Their expressions are vibrant and varied, but not exaggerated, and his ability to work around Bendis' dialogue-heavy scripts is a marvel. The flashbacks to each person's trauma even gets their own unique art style that adds emotional weight to the twisted events that occur. As amazing as the writing of Scarlet is and how it never pulls its punches in telling the truth and telling it loudly, the message would not land as well if it wasn't for Alex Maleev's art. While Scarlet is far from finished, it has come out very infrequently over the past 10 years. With only 15 issues, 10 in its first volume under the Icon Comics imprint at Marvel, and 5 issues in its second volume underneath the Jinx World imprint at DC, it's a short but thought-provoking read. It will make you uncomfortable, make you question your own world and beliefs, and does not ever shy away from shining a light on a problem that should be on everyone's mind. At the end of the day, you must ask yourself, how far are you willing to let people in power push you down, and are you willing to do anything about it?